You cannot scale a business on ROAS. Bottom line, that's a nonsense metric. Now, ROAS has worked for businesses to scale, especially on Facebook and other brands and other platforms, because the brands that do well ultimately have an LTV built in. And for the brands that didn't do well or that aren't built effectively, they were able to scale because honestly, the economy was booming. Anybody with any picture of anything on the internet could sell it to somebody else and make money. But in a time of a recession and in a time where, let's face it, Facebook is mature now. It is not evolving nearly as much as it used to because it's basically email. It's basically search. It's not going to get much better because it already reached effectively its final form. And its final form is really, really good. But what we need to understand out of that is that it means that we can no longer take advantage of an immature ad product in a booming economy to run a poor business and still make money. You need to start focusing on business fundamentals, and probably the most important business fundamental when it comes to scaling your direct consumer and e-commerce business is the LTV of your customer. You need to know how to get more money from the people that you're making sales to. Now, there's several different ways of doing this. One is get them to buy more than one item. So when they buy first, then through email or other channels, you get additional revenue, right? Somebody that might pay you $50 today might be worth $200 over the next year or two. Great. That means that you don't have to make money on that first sale. If they're worth $200 over the next 2 years, you could pay $120 to acquire that customer. You'll still make money. And you're making future cash flow decisions so that every morning you wake up and there's more money in your bank account and you didn't have to do anything. That type of cash flow is helping your operational costs, and you can borrow against more of it to do fractional banking and effectively scale your business on future revenue. And that's how really big brands grow. That's how most massive brands have achieved their market share and get to the place where they're at. Scaling businesses rarely ever do it profitable from day one, spending a portion of that profit on the growth of their business. That is an atypical situation. And there's always unicorns that get there. But let's be honest with ourselves. That's probably not you. And that's 100% okay. Because also those unicorns are far more susceptible to market shifts. And the vast majority of them see massive skyrocketing success and then completely tank and blow up and are non-existent. How many of those brands have we seen basically shoot through the moon and then crash? It happens all the time because their success probably has more to do with timing and market fit, and that ship sails quickly. So we need to understand with your LTV is, can you get somebody to buy a second time? Can you raise the AOV of your first purchase? Can you sell somebody a bundle versus giving them a discount? What can you do to make the average customer worth more money to you? The more money that customer is worth to you, the more money you can pay to acquire that customer. If you can make somebody worth $50 more to you and you spend $20 more to acquire that customer, you made an extra $30 on that customer. You do that across 100 people, 1,000, 1,000,000. You're going to be making way more money. And you can scale your business because you're focusing on these metrics that are actually important. Remember, ROAS isn't cash flow. ROAS is how lucky were you today, and a very out of context number. And then you say, well, I'm looking at MER. MER doesn't help you make decisions. It just says how lucky we're. It's like a report card of the day, but it doesn't give you the context. You ultimately have to then dive into the context and then make decisions. And ultimately, the numbers that you dive into are the numbers that are important anyway. MER is a gold star on a sheet of paper with no other information. That won't help you grow a business. I can't tell you how many businesses are successful but can't grow. Successful. I can't tell you how many businesses look bad on paper but continue to scale. I'm doing that with the business right now. When I started on the business, we were looking at a 0.4, 0.6 ROAS on day one, and we've 10x the business in the last 8 months. Because we're worrying about LTV and the growth of the business on future revenue. Future revenue off of a sale today is how you can plan for the growth of your business and how you can understand your growth potential. Getting a 3x ROAS on spend today means as soon as that ROAS goes away, you're done. And you've got some operating capital, but nothing to do. Setting yourself up for future revenue with LTV built off of additional purchases means you have more money consistently coming in. Having more money consistently coming in means you can have downtimes, you can have up times, and you can invest in the growth of your business instead of just trying to stay in business. When you're focused on ROAS and MER, ultimately you're trying to stay in business. When you're focused on LTV and PSM, you're ultimately trying to grow your business. And that's one of the biggest reasons why when people see a nice ROAS and they spend up and then it tanks, they struggle because they're not focusing on the LTV of their customers. Now, when we have a hero product where we're able to invest our time and energy into making the LTV of that customer journey better, better, and better, that means every sale that we make on the front end, every impression we deliver, every ad that gets served to any user ultimately gives us more information to help improve the LTV. Now, you can do that across 4 different products, and you're going to be at best 20, 30% as good as you could be at solving that problem because your money's getting split in 4 different directions. Or you can invest all of that in doing the one thing exceptionally well. And getting better and better at it is going to tremendously help your ability to grow your business in the future. And if you can start to pair this with your unique selling proposition and really angle the market with some vertical integration, you're going to be fantastic. Now, we're going to get to USP in a minute, but I just did something there that's really important, and I wanted to touch base on it. So that was a tease, vertical integration. One of the best ways of getting LTV from your customer is to sell complementary products and services. Now, I've given a lot of examples with this, and I've got dedicated whole-on lectures about LTV, so I'm not going to go too much into this vertical integration part because we've covered it at length. But what I want you to understand is when somebody buys a product from you, they're not a customer. Think of them as a lead. How do I turn this person that bought from me once into somebody that's going to buy from me more than once? 2, 3, 4, 5 times. The ultimate answer to that question is get products that when somebody buys one, they're likely to buy more. There's a reason why grocery stores sell groceries. When you buy one, you're likely to buy a second. Why is the hot dog bun next to the hot dog and the ketchup and the mustard? Because when you buy one, you're more likely to buy the others. Why do they put the beer next to the hot dogs and the grill equipment? Because you buy them all together. What can you do in your business to get somebody to buy it all together? What is the bundle you can make? Maybe you sell that bundle outright. Maybe you just know customers are more likely to buy one product after they buy the second one. You continue to move forward. But when you can focus on how do I get somebody to buy a product, and then what's the next thing I can sell them, and you work up from that to build your LTV on your customer, eventually getting those second and third sales are so much more profitable for your business that you will see it makes absolutely no sense and is a severe liability to start trying to sell other products and distract from the improvement of that one customer journey that you're improving the LTV on that ultimately gives you additional revenue and cash flow so that you can scale your business, manage inventory and operational costs as you grow. The acquisition of a customer is about the LTV. And in a recession, it's one of the greatest opportunities because large retailers are worried about customer retention because they already have this. But you as a direct consumer brand have a great opportunity focusing in on your unique selling prop, on your hero product, with building that LTV journey to grab a piece of the market and own it. And we're going to get to that in just a minute. But I just want to cover this stuff. The LTV on your customer is the secret weapon to the scale of your business, because ultimately you can spend to the LTV of that customer, not the AOV of the first purchase. That's going to allow you to handle rising costs as you scale your budget, which are 2 truths in the marketing world you're going to have to deal with. Now, if you have any questions on this stuff, please ask them below. Look below too for more information in the article. And if you like this information and want more of it, sign up for the newsletter at newsletter.facebookdisruptor.com. And if you want more information on this kind of stuff and really start to grow your business in the LTV of your efforts, the best investment you can make is the Facebook Ads MBA program, mba.facebookdisruptor.com. Check it out.